Hey there, welcome back to Assisted Living Investing. Excited to have you on the channel today. Today we're going to get into the topic of what are the different loan types that you can use to purchase your own residential assisted living facility. If you're interested in learning about that, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Brandon Gustafson with AssistedLivingInvesting.net. Excited to have you here on the channel with me for our topic today. We're going to be getting into what are some of the different loan types that you can use when purchasing a residential assisted living facility. But before we get started and start discussing that topic, I wanted to just quickly remind you about the free underwriting calculator we have on our website, AssistedLivingInvesting.net. We'll have that linked down below, and you can get access to that calculator. It's going to help you out in just kind of understanding what it costs to get started on your facility, what it costs to operate your facility, and how you can use that information to help you understand if it's going to be a profitable opportunity for you to start your own assisted living facility. I'm working on a course that also is going to go through that. It's going to be called the Business Planning Guide, and if you join our email list by signing up for our calculator, then you'll be made aware of that resource as soon as it comes available. I'm working on it right now and excited to share that with you. It's going to have business plan templates and some orientation on that. The underwriting calculator with a very specific overview of how to use that calculator, including the updated tabs that I've got. So if you want that, make sure you get over again to assistedlivinginvesting.net to sign up for the calculator. And it's going to have a few other bonus resources that I'm really excited to give to you, including a list of my expenses for my facility and how much it costs us to operate. So if you're interested in that, get over to the website and sign up so that you will be the first to know once that becomes available. For our topic today, again, we're going to get into the three main ways for you to fund your assisted living facility purchase. So the first one that I wanted to get into, and this is one that I've talked about a lot because it's the one that I have a lot of experience in, is SBA funding. So using the SBA is one of the best ways I've found to get started in assisted living. SBA is Small Business Administration. They do loans that have really good terms and rates when it comes to assisted living, especially because it's a business. They're also going to be able to do some finagling there to make sure that they get things taken care of on their end, but that it's going to help you out as well, just from a securities perspective for them. They are able to secure it with the real estate that you're purchasing, which is good for them, but it also lets you get started on your facility. And the SBA can be hard to work with. It can be scary. What I'm going to tell you here in this video is it's not that bad as long as you are doing the things that you need to do. You're really responsive and helping them, answering all the questions that they need and getting them all the information that they're going to need to go through the process. It's going to be pretty smooth. In my 12-week course that I'm recording right now, I give you a lot of tips and tricks on how to do that and coach you through the process of how to interact with an SBA lender. So make sure you pay attention to when I drop that course out there for you, because it's going to really help you out through the process of getting the SBA loan. But basically, the way that this is going to work for SBA is they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. They're going to get a lot of information from you, from the people that you are purchasing the facility from, and then they're going to do some underwriting. That's where my underwriting calculator is going to also come into play. But they're going to look at that information, then they're going to tell you yes or no, I want to work with you, or I don't. And if they do, typically you're going to be looking at what's called an SBA 7A loan. You could also do a 504, but I think if you're brand new to this, you're going to get a 7A loan. And when you start that, it's going to probably be about a 25-year term. And once you get that, you're also going to identify, what your interest rates are. Something that I learned as I got into the SBA funding area, though, is those rates, they do fluctuate. They're adjustable rates, and it's based off of the prime rate that is set by the Fed. And so it does that. It will do a number that is set by the bank that you're working with plus prime. So it could be prime plus 2% or plus 2.5%. That's just their way of doing it. But every time the Fed adjusts the rate, your interest rate is also adjusted. And so, you could start at 6% and it could go up to 10%, or you could start, if you're purchasing now and you're up at 10%, and it's going to come back down once rates start coming down. So just a quick tip for you to be aware of there as you get started working with the SBA. Now, if you start working with the SBA, they're going to tell you we could do and you'll see this if you look online at a bunch of places, could do as low as 10% down payment for your facility. So if you're doing $1 million facility purchase, you'd only need to put in $100,000. That sounds great, but my experience having done this 3 times now on 3 separate SBA loans is you're typically coming out of pocket closer to like 17-18% is what it comes out to be. So it's less than 20%. It's going to be probably less than you would get if you're going the route of a traditional mortgage, but it's not going to be that 10%. Just in my experience of working through this. So just something for you to be aware of as you do your underwriting and kind of look at this. It would be great if you could do 10% down and save the rest of that cash for something else, another facility or whatever. But if that's not the case, then just be aware that you're going to have to put a little more money into the pot to get started. So SBA, excellent resource. I've got a bunch of videos on the channel. I'll try to link one up above here that's going to help you understand a little bit more about the SBA. And if you have done an SBA loan, make sure you comment down below so you can help people out. And if you are looking at doing an SBA loan or you're interested in doing an SBA loan, make sure you comment down below on that, and people can get in here and help you out through the process of doing SBA. So that's the first option. The second one is going to be more of a traditional type of a mortgage. So this one you'd be working with a lender, and you just want to kind of be transparent about what you're trying to do, but you're essentially purchasing this house on a traditional mortgage. I think you'll see this a lot more if you're trying to do a conversion of a home, and you'll buy the home on a traditional mortgage, and then the remaining amount you might put into an SBA loan. And so you would, you're buying a house for $500,000, and then you need to do the renovations, and you need some operating capital. That $500,000 is going to be on a traditional mortgage, but for a rental property. So that's kind of what you're doing to get that one started. And then you need $200,000 for the renovation and the operating expenses. That one you're going to go and talk to either the same bank or a different bank and say, I need $200,000 to get this business up and running. So you'd have 2 separate payments, but I think you're going to find lenders that are willing to work with you on that. I've not had to do that in my situation, but I think it's something that you could find as you start going down this process of looking at an assisted living facility. The thing that I've learned, if anything, from this entire process is just because one lender tells you no doesn't mean that the answer is always no. And just because one lender tells you no, we can't do that or you can't do that, just take it with a grain of salt and go talk to another lender, and you'll probably find one that's willing to work with you in doing both of those loans or doing one loan while another bank does another loan, and you'll be able to find that information to kind of help you through the process of securing the funds that you need to get started on your assisted living facility. I don't have a lot of experience with the traditional mortgage route, but I know it's one that you could go on, and I think it's going to be a pretty similar process to if you were purchasing a second home, an investment property. That's the type of thing that you want to be putting out to the lenders as you're talking to them is, hey, I'm looking at starting an assisted living facility. What loan products do you have that are going to allow me to do that? And can you kind of help me through that process so that we can get everything there that we need to secure the funding for my investment that I want to go through. And I think you're going to find lenders that are willing to work with you through that process. And the third one that I wanted to get into with you is hard money. Now, hard money is different. It can kind of sound a little bit scary, but I think it's actually a really good option for you as you get started with assisted living. There are not a ton of lenders that work with assisted living, and the ones that I've worked with are probably ones that you're going to end up working with or get connections with as well. Big ones that I'm aware of, there's Byline Bank and Celtic Bank. We did one with Umpqua, which is more of a local bank, but a lot of lenders will have a loan product that is SBA. There's a lot of SBA lenders out there, and I would suggest Google or do an internet search for something like SBA lenders in my state or the state where you're going to be operating. It's going to give you an idea. Start reaching out to them. But if you keep hitting roadblocks, or you have purchased a facility like we did, and then you're trying to turn around a few months later and do another facility with a different lender, and you're getting the runaround from all these lenders. And going the hard money route is not a horrible decision. The hard money lenders, they're private funders, private financiers. And so let's say that you need $1 million. So you would go and talk to a hard money lender and say, I want to start an assisted living facility. Here's my business plan. This is what it looks like. And then you're going to hand it off to them so they can review it and make sure that they're interested in doing it, make sure that they're familiar and feel good about the risk that they're going to be assuming as they take that on, and then they will give it to you. The pros of working with a hard money lender is it's lower down payment typically than any of the other funding sources, so you're going to have to be less out of pocket. The downside with this, potential downside, is it's going to be shorter terms, like typically 1 to 5 years, so very quick. The intent is you're going to do this and have that hard money lender working with you while you get things up and running and show that you can operate the business. So then you could go back to the SBA and say, hey, I've been operating this business now for 3 months, or 3 years, will you now fund me? Or I've been doing this for a year, will you now fund me? Here's our P&Ls, this is everything that we've been doing with the facility, and how it's operating. And then typically an SBA lender will look at that and say, okay, yeah, that looks good. And then you'll use that SBA funds, those SBA funds, to then pay off your hard money lender. So shorter term, probably worse rates than you would get with a traditional lender, but a way for you, a kind of a creative way for you to get started in the realm of assisted living. Another one that I'll mention, just kind of a bonus tip, is if you find somebody that's a landlord that is willing to kind of work with you, they're interested in assisted living, they don't know how to do it, but they're interested in the concept of doing assisted living, you might be able to find somebody that is willing to kind of work with you in doing the renovations to get it up and running, and then they're the landlord and you're basically leasing the real estate from them and starting the facility that way. I know of a few people that have done that, so that's a bonus tip. One thing that came to mind as I was going through this as well is you want to have a really solid business plan for this. Whether you're talking to an SBA, traditional lender, hard money lender, or even somebody where you're leasing the property, you want to have a really solid business plan to kind of help you through the process of thinking through what you're trying to do, but also just kind of putting it out there so they can see on paper what your vision is and how you're going to implement all the things that you're trying to do for your own assisted living facility. Building that business plan is going to be key. If you sign up for our free underwriting calculator, you'll get on an email list, and I'm building a business planning guide which includes a templated version of my business plan with an overview of how you can customize that and get you started down the process to really build that business plan in a way that I know works with lenders, because I've gotten it. I've received funding from multiple lenders, and it's built off of some bases that were from an SBA lender and from the SBA itself, and then customized to being assisted living specific. So if you're interested in getting access to that product once we launch it on the website, make sure you get over to assistedlivinginvesting.net, sign up for our free underwriting calculator, and you'll get on the email list for when we drop those types of tools out for you to go and access and purchase and start you on your journey to investing in assisted living. Excited to, again, have you on the channel with me here to go through the journey of investing in assisted living. It's hard. There's a lot that goes into it. If you have gone through conversations with any of these types of lenders, make sure you comment down below. It's going to help people kind of learn the process. If you have questions about the SBA, traditional financing, working with a hard money lender, make sure you comment those down below as well. Share your experience, ask your questions, and as a group we can get back to you with feedback and what we've learned through our processes. And also I'm really trying to focus on building out content that is specific to you and what your needs are. So if you have questions or comments, make sure you comment those down below, and I will create some content for you based off of those needs. Are you interested in getting started in assisted living but you don't know how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, we're here to help you through the process start to finish. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.